Hello, I'm Zonnetta, and I'm playing the part of Dee.
Hi, I'm Kate, and I'm playing Sarah.
Hi, I'm Felecia, and I'm playing Abby.
Hello, I'm Cetera, and I'm portraying Rachel.
This play is important because it's not something in history that I even knew about. When we talk about the Cadillac Crew caught my attention, but I was like, what was that exactly? I knew about the freedom rides, the buses, and how the buses were bombed and burned when African Americans as well as white people were fighting for desegregation, but I didn't know about those Cadillac Crews. So it's not even that it was history that was erased, because it's not even visible. Hearing about these women that traveled state to state in the Jim Crow South.
And I found it important because it uncovers like information and facts about, what went on back then, making what we thought impossible back then. It's literally reality today. So it's not take.
I would say I found it important as well because this day and age, we have leaders who are literally trying to obliterate our history. And so to be able to act in a play where it brings attention to what the African Americans have faced in this country, I think it's vitally important that we do it during this time, especially at the height of a political race that has grabbed the attention of the entire country, right?
I think it's important how to see how far we've come and how much has changed, and at the same time, how little has changed and how much the issues still resonate.
Mm-hmm. I know that I discovered, like Zonnetta was saying about the Cadillac Crew, like it was a real thing. So it's not just the name of the play. It's not just, we need to title this something. It was literally something that, happened. It was one of the stories that actually happened. There were Cadillac Crews back in the 60s.
I think the one thing I've noticed about myself is I have done a great deal to suppress some of the experiences that I've had that can relate to this play. And so there are a lot of parts in this play where I'm triggered. And so to learn how to deal with those triggers and still portray the characters' feelings behind it is what I'm trying to stay focused on mostly.
I have discovered during this process about myself, my character, Sarah, has a line, "Don't do that, Abby. I'm hardly qualified to speak on the matter." And then Felicia's character, Abby, says, we can't afford to have you slip out either. And I think that in my own personal life, I definitely have a tendency to try to slip out of difficult and uncomfortable conversations, partly because I don't feel qualified, and partly just because it's uncomfortable and difficult. And so
what I discovered about myself is in this role that I'm playing, Dee, this character I'm embodying, says a lot of lines that I definitely do not take the same posture. I don't have the same belief system that Dee has. And so it's almost like when I began to learn the lines, I was like, what? She said, what? I didn't know this is which way she was going. So my thoughts and beliefs are opposite of Dee's character. And it's really given me the power and the knowledge and to give Dee grace and understanding that is the other side of the coin. That's the other perspective.
That's good.
I think audiences would like to experience this play because it hits so close, but yet so far from home. And so close, meaning our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunts, uncles, they were all, a part of this time. So they really, would feel it in the audience. And so far, meaning we're 60 years later now, we're 60 years later now, and we are living in the times that they, were wishing for back then.
Well said. Just like Cetera mentioned earlier, this being a political race, that's where we're at. Next month, we vote or not. And I think about people who are staunch and so, are firm. I don't vote. Our vote doesn't matter. But to see this play at this time, if you're on the fence or if you've made a decision that your voice doesn't matter or your vote doesn't matter, this might be the jump start you need
Right.
to even see the fight, what it took, how, Black people weren't allowed to vote. You had to earn that right. And how we have Sarah, who was in that fight right along with us. She could vote. Suffrage had already passed. And so I think it would give you that ability to say, hey, maybe I do need to go back and look at this and vote. I have a voice and I can. Good point.
And it has a powerful message, but I truly believe, more than any other play I've ever been in, I really think that audiences will, I can't think of anyone who this play wouldn't be their cup of tea, honestly. And I think it'll be really enjoyed.
So the challenge for me thus far has been embodying this character. I do have some, similarities to Abby, the character, but she's got a lot going on in this play. So I feel like, embodying the actual.
I'm being honest. I'm learning a lot about myself as far as what I give off. Am I being true to the character? Am I giving respect? And listening. That is really something for me. I love how both the directors are always saying, how Brian and Kate are always saying to listen. And I love that they set that tone early because it's become so important to me to really listen. I'm listening for the intent of your characters and then listening for why Dee would respond the way she does. So just really picking up really strong pointers to make me a better actor and a better listener in real life too.
Yeah, and how listening isn't just, listening with your ears, but it's, you listen with your body, listen, respond.
I think a challenge for me is remembering all the theatrical things that need to happen, but also this is such a realistic play, filmic, that it's so natural. I think it would work really well as a film. It's so intimate, but you need to be heard in everything.
Yes. I would only add, because my co-star Zonnetta shared this with me, I was struggling in the beginning. I was literally like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell them they picked the wrong person. And she was like, why? I said, because I this is so real for me. And she said, take Cetera out of it. And how would Rachel, play Rachel? And that has been the most challenging thing, because as I expressed, when you suppress feelings of discrimination or harassment that you have personally experienced, and now a play would dare to bring that back up in me, but have Cetera not respond, and Cetera has to be Rachel, ooh, it's making you better than me, I would say. What it has been like working with two directors is learning how to take cues from each person and merging the instruction together. Having a male direct as well as a female, when obviously the play is more female focused, but also not denying the male perspective at the same time has been important. And I would say it's been fun, because they obviously have, Brian and Katie have two different views, but they both speak to the importance of what they're trying to bring on the play, because they have a vision just as well as we do. So the beauty of it all coming together, I think is going to be what will be the most exciting to see, because there's like 4 minds involved in this production.
Yeah, I think it's been great to have the different perspectives, and we all feel very safe and free to play it, so you can take 2 different points of view and then merge it with your own. I feel very lucky to have been working with Lumen Rep for a while, and first of all, the professional aspect of it, it does wonders, I think, for your psyche to feel valued, to be able to get paid for all the hard work that we put into it. And I wanted to land. I wanted to have a helicopter that landed.
Well, I think I would say, different from the 3 of you ladies, this is my first acting gig, so to speak, in Jacksonville. So Lumen Rep has been my first experience. And the two words that I think would describe my feeling towards it is decency and order. And obviously knowing and being told that they are a company that believes in paying their actors and actresses, sis. And from what I've heard, that's not something that Jacksonville is known for. So I feel completely, truly honored and grateful for the opportunity that my first experience here in Jacksonville is with a company that believes in paying people for what they're worth.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll definitely echo that. Being paid for the time. I've been in a number of shows around town at different community theaters, and I always think about the time that's put in. I mean, there's been sometimes I've rehearsed with no schedule at all, and I could be there as late as midnight. And being a part of the Lumen Rep family has been very professional. So I'll use that word again. Everything runs like a well-oiled machine. You know, the schedule is set. It was already printed up. You know, everything came, all the documents, all the emails came as they were how we expected them to come, what we were told. And it's just been so seamless. It really has been. It's really been a great experience.
And I think like with any job or when you're working for an employer, you want to know what the demands will be up front. And you want to be assured that they're not going to change so that you know what is required of you. And so I feel like knowing that ahead of time allowed us all to choose, is this something we're able to do, knowing that there wouldn't be any surprises. There have been no surprises. So I'm greatly appreciative of that, because we all have a life outside of here, and they definitely respected that and been true to that.
And I really had a great sense of pride as an actor in this community to sign a contract. And
right.
really, really am grateful for Lumen. Very much so. All honesty, that is a true statement. I mean that from the heart.
And I think I can speak for us all to say that we really appreciate Lumen and like valuing us. And you actually show, you know, that we're worth, you know, something to you. So
Being able to take pride in the work, for sure, that you're advertising and showing people. It's exciting.
Now that was a change. Usually Rachel speaks for all, but Annie did.
How I'm growing in this role as being part of Lumen is making decisions. I've read the script. I read it in the beginning. I wanted to make sure I understood the characters and what is the impetus. Why would I do something? What is the move? What are the facial expressions? So really making good choices and being respected by the directors to make those choices.
I'm growing and have grown and will continue to grow throughout this process is because sometimes we allow ourselves to be in a comfort zone. And when we're pulled out of it and challenged to grow and be better and do better. And one thing Brian said today, because Zonnetta asked him, he said he had no doubt in who he chose to be a part of this cast. And one thing that they have both echoed throughout this process is we wouldn't be asking more of you if we didn't think you were capable. And sometimes, honestly, I think, and potentially as women, sometimes we don't think we're capable. And there is a line. Oh, I'm not giving it away. You have to come to see the play. I was going to give away one of Rachel's lines, but it would be better heard and received in person. So not going to tell you.
Good. In that same vein, watching each of you all and the different things that you all bring with your unique perspective to the characters and the script has helped me to. Thanks, Figaro.
Get your tickets today for Lumen Rep's production of Cadillac Crew.
Running October 18th through November at historic San Marco Church.
You don't want to miss this. Lumen Rep Theater. Be moved.